You know, everyone, even though I'm not wearing my gold blockchain with a gold Bitcoin on it, if you've been following me for any time at all, you know I'm a pretty big deal. And today I'm going to actually defer, and I'm going to interview the founder of a project who is, sit down now, who's even a bigger deal than this JAG. For those of you guys who don't know what JAG is, football term, just a guy. That's what I am. My name is Uncle Vigilante. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the shitcoin trials. This is the trial where we interview founders, leaders of projects. And what we're doing is we're trying to keep everybody right in the middle of the fairway, trying to keep us and our money safe. Because here's the fact. There's 10,000 coins out there and more every day. And much like business entities that launch, 98% of those coins are going to, ready for this, go to zero. So we, at this point in our crypto careers as newbies who don't know shit, we need to be very careful and very discerning. And I'm going to tell you a little story as to how we got here. But I just want to tee it up by letting you know that we have a guest on, and I'm going to ask some difficult questions. And you in the chat are going to be the jury. So at the end of this, you're going to have an opportunity I'll drop a Zoom link in so that you can join the interview if you would like and ask any questions directly. But this is pretty exciting. And I think that this series is going to be pretty important for all of us, because if the guests that have the guts to come on and answer these difficult questions, I think that, you know, if we vote that we like these coins, it's either going to go into one of two places on the Uncle Vigilante channel. It's going to go in the shitcoin part of the series or not shitcoin. I have a sneaky suspicion, not to lead the jury, but tonight this is going to go into the not shitcoin category or bucket. But before I begin and we dive in, because there have been so many new subscribers, I just want to give a little bit of a backstory to catch you up. When I say I'm a JAG, I mean it. I'm just a guy. I'm a 56-year-old business guy who didn't know a thing about crypto until the first week of January of this year, when somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, you need to invest in XRP." And I'm like, "Cool. What's XRP? It's cryptocurrency." Well, okay, I know nothing about it. I just absolutely know nothing about what is it, BitChain or whatever. And that is where it all began. I had a little bit of money that I got from some work from last year that came to me all at once. It was $30,000. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So I'm like, how do I get started? And this guy told me I needed to order a Trezor off of Amazon, and I needed to go to Coinbase and sign up, and then I needed to upgrade to Coinbase Pro. Now, none of this meant anything to me, guys, but I just dove into the shallow end head first. And then he, at that time, XRP was listed on Coinbase, and he told me how to buy it. And then he said you needed to download an Exodus wallet. And I don't know what it is, but okay, if you say so. And then I was able to ultimately transfer the coins, and long story tolerable at this point, over the next 2 weeks, I was able to kind of figure out that initial step of getting fiat dollars from your bank onto an exchange, buy a portfolio of coins, get them safely into an offline hot wallet or cold storage wallet. And just like riding a bike, you know, I could study it all day long. And and it would never make sense to me. You just got to get on the bike. You have to start ugly. You have to skin your knees a little bit, and that's where it started. So then I ended up started. It's like anything else, man. It's you just kind of, at least my personality, I get kind of addicted to things. I start falling in love with things and I'm like, okay, this is my new hobby. So crypto quickly became my new hobby and I liked it a lot. And I started realizing there's just a lot of communities out there that are like-minded people like me that kind of want to keep the money they earn and maybe even make more of it, turn it into something bigger instead of having those portfolios that, your 401k just goes sideways for years and years and years. This seemed pretty cool. So I started diving in. I started engaging with some communities, and I ended up going to this summit, an online summit, to where I was supposed to be brought up to speed, to where I would go from newbie to maybe advanced. No, by the second day of that summit, I ended up just seeing in the comments that everybody was just like me, confused as all get out. Nobody knew shit. And everybody was looking for a 101 on-ramp. And so that's when I made the decision to launch. At the time, it was the Uncle Odd channel. My name is Todd, but my nephew could never enunciate Todd. So I became Uncle Odd in my family. So I launched the Uncle Odd Show just to be able to kind of document my journey as a newbie, because I thought, you know what? If I'm going to figure this crypto thing out, why not do it as almost a running documentary where I'll just show my warts. I'll talk about how I'm doing things. I'll ask questions about, I don't know this. Is there anybody out there that does, that can come on and talk about it? And then I ended up with the crypto vigilante on my show, Rafael Valverde. He's the man. He and Jeff Berwick from the Dollar Vigilante. Jeff gave me a shout out on one of his walks with Lucy saying, hey, I really like this Uncle Odd guy. And then when Rafael came on, he ended up giving anointed me Uncle Vigilante. So that's why it is the Uncle Vigilante Show. I am dedicated. This channel is dedicated to newbies. And it's dedicated to helping us figure out how to engage in this cryptocurrency ecosystem, this very exciting ecosystem. And it's like drinking from a water hose. And we're just trying to slow things down a little bit, understand the vernacular. And as this channel has evolved, I just started networking and getting in touch with new people. And recently I had on the show, let me share my screen just to be able to show you this. I ended up, you can go down below and see, I have Ray from, where are we? There we go. From Bees.social. I had Ray on, and he was talking to me about this and all of the amazing projects that they have here. And what is Bees.social? Bees.social is the first DAO solely focused on empowering people with the education needed to take advantage of the crypto revolution. I'm like, that's right down my alley. I like that. Well, who is Bees.social? Well, we are a community of retail investors that are educating themselves, supporting others, and profiting from cryptocurrency investing. We are normal people seeking to take control of our personal finances. We are growing significantly by inviting friends and family to join us and learn about the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now, hang on, because this is important. Why do we exist? We are not an investment group, nor are we day traders. We are a community. We recognize the effective communication, respect, transparency, and sharing of information that it builds a strong community. To that end, we are a group that has invited friends and family to participate so that we can grow together. Now, if you take a look at the top of Bees.social and you take a look at startups, you see M2 Cash, Mission Fund, and StarWire. StarWire. Our guest tonight is the founder, and I also have the co-founder of StarWire on with me. Let's just take a peek at StarWire. I'm not going to peel back the layer of the onion. I just want to show you where it is, and I'm going to hand it over to my guest. But that is that's why we're here today, and my guest is here today just through interviewing Ray telling me about Colin, and I reached out to Colin and asked if he would come on. Now, since that original invitation, and I will stop talking, I promise. Since that original invitation, I had a guest on who was promoting a coin, and I later realized it was an absolute shit coin. Well, the man I respect so dearly, who gave me my name, reached out to me and in a very kind but admonishing way said, Uncle V, you're going to hurt people. It's a shit coin. What are you doing? And so I'm like, whoa. That is total counter to my mission. I don't want to hurt people. So I said, time out. I'm out of the coin recommendation business. No more, no way. But what I can do is, Rafael also said, you need to think for yourself and do your own research instead of just taking what everybody else says as, this is the next to the moon coin. Mm-hmm. And so I decided, okay, you know what? How do we find a good, high quality investable coin? What are the attributes? And I came up with 10 questions that I'm going to ask today. And I'm going to ask on every one of these shitcoin or not shitcoin trials. And the guests, if they answer them well, to your satisfaction, I'm speaking to you in the jury box, then maybe you'll consider going and investing in this coin. This channel is not investment advice. I'm out of the coin recommendation business, but I am setting this up as a platform for us to identify these perhaps undiscovered coins. So with that, as a long introduction, I hope it got a few people into our chat. Let me just take a peek. We are live. Yep, we got some people in there. I would like to introduce Mr. Colin Wiebe. Now, wow. Where do I begin? Colin, musician, entrepreneur, author, creative director, if I recall, singer, songwriter, amazing singer, songwriter. I think he has 5 albums out there, and he toured. He'll give you the story, but he toured with a legend, and was the lead singer. He's a branding and marketing consultant, and today he is representing an exciting cryptocurrency called StarWire as the founder. So Colin, sorry for that long intro, but thank you and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. It makes me want to have a vigilante last name now,
too.
Maybe I could be the rock star vigilante.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah, so much fun. But anyway, I love your voice. I love your energy, and I love your attitude. And
thank you.
Just in all full transparency, when it comes to the whole crypto thing too, I'm pretty much of a newbie myself. And this side of the whole DeFi thing that's going on. I first discovered blockchain though back in 2015, 2016. And I remember learning about this. I was working with another company and I thought this could solve a lot of problems in the world. Mm-hmm. So as a creative guy, I've always been a problem solver. We find a problem and we come up with a solution and for ourselves. And if we can turn it into a business at some point, that's what a serial entrepreneur kind of does. They see the problem and try and find a solution. And you're an old-time business guy. You understand that whole process. But I think one of the things I'm finding with the whole crypto side of things is this community. And, back in the old days, they used to have fan clubs. You remember the Elvis fan clubs and the Beatles fan clubs. And as we sort of moved through kind of I would say the dispersion of music, where in our era, we always listened to the same music pretty much. We all had the same records, Supertramp and whatever. You could go through REO Speedwagon and Doobie Brothers and we all traveled as a pack and listened to basically the same music.
Fleetwood Mac.
And now everything is so diverse, and there's
Right.
so much differentiation and so much entrance into different music and different content and different experiences. So I think one of the things that's happening now is we got away from the whole idea of fan bases and fan communities. And now we're starting to see that people are coming together in like-minded tribes, if you want to call them that, and they're meeting new friends, meeting new people. And I think one of the things I wanted to share with StarWire, and I'm going to show the video because it's my daughter doing the voiceover, and it was just put together real simply and quickly to convey an emotion. And having been an entertainer for 30 years and traveled around with all my favorite artists and seeing the different sides of the industry, one thing was always in common, and that is it was kind of us against the whole manager middleman type of people. And the stories, there's so many stories, and in one of those days we could have a whole show just on that. But let me just run this video. I'll share my screen if I can.
Excellent.
Desktop 3, and let's see if it works. Give me the thumbs up, Uncle Vigilante, if the volume audio comes through.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's no.
Let's try it.
Did you when you did the share screen, did you click share audio?
I got to share audio here.
It's all right, man. See, that's the beauty of being on a channel to where we started ugly, because we're still kind of ugly, and we just deal with what we have. Within the when you hit on share screen, it's a real simple right lower left. It'll say
share sound. I see it.
Or share sound. I'm sorry, share sound. There you go.
All right.
Beautiful.
We were born to create. From childhood, we learn to make sounds, make a mess, make things up, and make and build connections. We imagine worlds, and we sought to find our own voice.
Your screen.
Yes, we were born to create, and we worked hard. We became artists, musicians, and writers. We see the future and paint our world. Our secrets become our stories or songs to keep for ourselves, share with those we love, or even, if we're lucky enough to be loved, around the world. Even when the future is uncertain, we keep doing what we love because we are all born to create. What you create can shape our future, and the future for you must be protected. When your passion moves people, people move money. It's time for creators to be paid fairly. So to protect what you create and ensure that you can enjoy the rewards of your own unique creative magic, that's when we bring you StarWire.
Bravo.
Wait for it.
When money moves, you get paid.
Boom. That is awesome. Great job for your daughter.
So that's why I have to let the host play the video, because now you know I use Evernote.
No, that's fine. The everything at the end was where you jam packed it. So one of the questions that I asked at the beginning are, what's the utility purpose and what problem are you solving? So I think you introduced the problem there, but I'd love for you to unpack it more as an entertainer, how you used to get paid, and your vision of how this can really change the entertainment world.
Yeah, so the whole beginning, and once again, I think I'd like to show just a couple of slides, because sometimes, especially for the newbies, it's a lot easier to understand. So let's look at StarWire, if we could, as kind of two parts. One is the project.
Okay.
And the other is the token, which we'll talk about, which we've been working with Bees.social on. So with that said, I'll just go over here to number 3, and you should be able to see that StarWire page.
Yep.
So you mentioned on your intro that I was a touring rock musician and played with a classic rock artist by the name of Randy Bachman, who was in the Guess Who and Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Yeah.
And in my 2 decades with him, I got to play with a lot of my favorite entertainers and musicians, including Neil Young and the Doobie Brothers, like I mentioned, and Alice Cooper. And we toured with so many artists in classic rock festivals. You can see me. This is with Alice Cooper at one of these big outdoor festivals. And I've made videos on top of Masada in Israel and even met a Beatle. But I say that just to show you that my history is in the entertainment business. And then around 2015, I met a couple of film producers, and we took over, did an RTO on a public company, and started Imagination Park Entertainment. And the primary business model at the time when we first started was to create proof of concept videos for films. And it was an exciting time. Netflix was just starting to get going, and we had a lot of opportunities to go back and forth to Hollywood and work. We had a lot or an office on the back lot of the Universal, and we had a small office on Paramount as well. So it was kind of an exciting time. Mm-hmm. And we ended up getting into a project that was virtual reality. And the company acquired some virtual reality software, and it became an augmented reality company. So I exited the company, and it's still publicly traded right now under the IP is the symbol, and they are doing augmented reality software. So the one thing that I did notice, and you're probably like me, and there's probably anyone who's an entrepreneur, they can try to tell all their friends about this crypto, or, you know, you're always trying to show people that you can see the future a little bit, and they just don't get it. And you can spend all your energy trying to validate your ideas until it finally catches up. See, I told you Bitcoin was going to be something in the mainstream, or you could take a risk and solve a problem. Well, Houston, we have a problem. And I started a company called Matrix Blockchain, specifically to create solutions that I wanted to use for the blockchain world. So the problem was—
Can you back the bus up? Just go back to that one page where one more.
Yeah.
One more back there, right there. Nope, just the Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is a show dedicated to newbies, and I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Profitable blockchain solutions. In your words, what is a blockchain?
Well, blockchain is basically a unit. It's a trust, and it's a mechanism that this shared ledger somewhere up in the sky keeps track of everything and makes it safe.
Okay.
And I'm just using like really simple grade 2 level words, because I did watch your show the other night, and I think that the blockchain—
and you realized to communicate with me, you needed to go way down to the lower shelf.
Yeah. So the idea was to use this new technology for solving problems that existed that there weren't any good solutions to. And a lot of people have done this with fintech now, and this is old 2015 news. So okay. Moving on, our mission was to try and build applications. You know, it was like building an iPhone app when the iPhone first came out. There was no applications in the store, and it was like I tried to find app programmers, and they didn't exist. I had one app idea that I wanted to create, and I got a developer, and he quoted me $70,000 just to do the first rev of it. But there were very few apps in the store, and we know how many there are. There's millions now, and it's easy to find. Anybody can create their own app. But at the time, blockchain was this big mystery.
Right.
And so I outlined the problem. And, you know, Garnet will come on and talk a little bit about this. But the truth is, many creators simply don't get paid fairly for their work. And a lot of the distributors that audit film sales, sometimes they don't know who to pay. And sometimes they'll their contract will end, but they'll still collect the money and never remit it. Moving money overseas is costly. For example, we had a production happening in Spain, and they needed money. So our CFO from Canada, we're from Canada, by the way, same place that Jeff Berwick was from. And our CFO had to go across the border to a US bank and then wire money into Spain. And then they had to change the money and hold on it. Meantime, we're paying hotel rooms for these guys. And it was so difficult. And I thought this whole token idea is going to change this. It's going to be a few years, but I know it's coming.
Wow, good for you.
It's widely known that Hollywood accounting ensures that no money is left over at the end of the day to share with investors or talent. The main guys get paid off, and then, they get the balance sheet down to zero. That's kind of the goal. And it's widely known that a powerful few control the numbers.
Sure.
And all you have to do is kind of go and look for some of the proof of those stories. They're everywhere. So our vision was really to get a way that content creators could get credit for their IP, for their intellectual property, and get paid when their work is consumed. So I thought, man, all these films and songs are all digital now. Like, what if you could just bake the information right into the song? There's got to be a way to do that.
Dude, that's awesome. I see where you're going.
And so what we did is gathered some evidence. Obviously, this is the guy from Return of the Jedi who played Darth Vader, still hasn't gotten paid, and he passed away, and still didn't get.
That's James Earl Jones, right?
That was the voice, but the guy who actually played the character,
I see.
He didn't get the money.
Thanks for popping the bubble. I thought it was James.
And I don't know. Never really done a fact check on this to see how true it is. I found it on the internet. So, decide for yourself, but it looks pretty authentic that Harry Potter's The Order of the Phoenix, they ended up with $167 million loss, even though it's one of the top grossing films. And so you can Google it and they even show you the whole balance sheet here. And you just scratch your head, and the stories are everywhere. Sylvester Stallone, fraud, dishonesty, never got his money for this and that. So what was the brilliant solution? Well, I'm sure Uncle Vigilante, you've figured it out by now. Entertainment blockchain, smart decentralized platform that always pays you first. So that was a big idea. This is back in 2016. How did that change? Well, our plan was to become a superhero for the film industry. So like Airbnb did for hotels and Uber did for taxis, I didn't really want to disrupt the industry like that, because everybody in the industry is my friends. So you want to play well with others. You want to make sure that you're kind of status quo, that what you build for yourself becomes usable, that people say, hey, I'd like to use that. And have it. It wasn't even designed to be a product. It was designed to be a solution for us. And so we talked to producers and distributors, and they all agreed that, hey, blockchain is going to be the solution to this industry eventually. So the idea was to create a timestamp register that uses smart contracts.
Okay, this page, let's go really slow on this, one by one, just to unpack it all, because this is a lot of information and it's really important. So start at the top, but let's not blow through it.
Okay, we'll use your imagination a little bit. And let's say you and I are writing a song together, and we decide that we're going to go 50-50. Okay. And there's the old saying in Nashville, in the room, in the deal.
Okay.
So you and I have decided to split a song 50-50. So we record that into a smart contract, and the timestamp, remember when you used to mail your intellectual property yourself in the mail? Oh yeah, put your cassette tape in the mail and mail it to yourself. That'll protect.
Yeah, right.
And so distributors would automatically receive this digital meta ownership and payment terms directly within the file. And then you could easily move money overseas to productions using stablecoin tokens. And in this case now, the STAR token is going to take place of that in a way. And then investors and talent are protected by these smart contracts. And Jason is on here. He's going to explain how that works.
Sorry, I'm going to be Uncle Vigilante rude,
Sure.
which is just to back the bus up. And so StarWire.io. So StarWire is the blockchain and the token is Star.
The token is Star, and it's right now we don't have a specific blockchain. We're not creating the blockchain. We're using the blockchain for this particular project and system.
Okay.
So here's what I want your viewers to sort of take away. So imagine whenever someone orders a movie or buys a song, everyone gets paid instantly. And now back in 2015, you couldn't do that because you can't slice up a dollar enough to be able to pay these fractions of a penny to people over time. But now you can. And so we have a couple of tools within the whole StarWire project system. The number one thing that I'm so proud of is we kind of coined the term SCB. So we created that acronym for a smart contract builder. And it's just simply a tool that builds smart contracts. So if you think of building a WordPress site and not having to know any code, it's kind of the same idea.
I love that. And you know what? That is the future, I believe, of this entire space, this entire ecosystem. Is there going to be smart people like you that build things like a smart contract builder that then make it basically an easy button where you input, hit a button, and output, and all of a sudden, boom, you have a smart contract. This is brilliant.
Yeah. So just to do it in Uncle Vigilante terms, it's like a security tag for your work.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
And so a conventional film contract is obviously hundreds of hours of legal work sometimes.
Wow.
And a smart contract only takes 4 minutes to deploy once all the stuff is put in there. And this is a peek at what it actually looks like under the hood. So imagine a digital agent like Jerry Maguire representing your content at every transaction. Do you remember that movie?
I love it. Yeah, of course.
Well, I put this in there because I met Jerry Maguire. I met Lee Steinberg. I was doing a concert and we were staying in the same hotel, and we ended up singing, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young songs and stuff. We brought the guitars down to the hotel lounge and started singing till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And he still carries the same briefcase that Tom Cruise carried in the movie because that's his briefcase. So it was really interesting. But if you can imagine, and for those that don't know or have seen the movie, Jerry Maguire was a sports agent, and his big line was "Show me the money." And so now we can do it electronically with a smart contract. It'll just tell the recipient to show me the money. And so our song, they'll know that Uncle Vigilante and I wrote that song. He gets 50%, I get 50%. Mm-hmm. And as you move through and add agents and publishers and distributors, you can update the smart contract and deploy a new one. And it's all pretty easy. You were just saying it's easy to deploy. We've set out a dashboard for everything, and it creates this contract. So that's the big picture. And what's our competitive advantage? Well, we have access. And I told you about our having an office on the Universal lot back with Imagination Park. And I still have a lot of those same relationships, and Garnet will talk a little bit about that as well. But we have the ability to reach out to some of the key people in the industry. And I think when you help people get credit and recognition for their work and get paid when money moves, you become their superhero. So that's the big idea of StarWire. When money moves, you actually get paid.
Wow. Not shitcoin.
No, and
here, let me just make it official. There we go. Not shitcoin. Jury's in. I haven't even asked him, but I'm judged, so there's that. No, this is amazing.
So I think one of the cool things to take away here is, and I got so many stories that go with this, but the Bees.social people and some of that group were looking for different projects to kind of work with. And I've been working on this, and I'd always wanted to have a token as that representation that can be fractionalized. And Garnet and I used to go back and forth going, which stable coin are we going to use, and which is the best one? And do we do this Elastos blockchain, or do we do this ERC20? And, you know, we were kind of going back and forth. We knew the big picture, which you just saw. Yeah. And I haven't changed this presentation really since 2017, 2018. And I think what we want to do now is explain to your viewers how this token has now kind of changed the playing field a little bit and made it even triple the excitement, because now those big ideas and big dreams that we had of one day we'll be able to do this is today. Now we can actually pull some of these things off. So I want to introduce Garnet, the co-founder of StarWire. And we met because a mutual friend of ours, I was having coffee with him, and he said, you know, and I was explaining to him the whole StarWire concept. He was a film writer, screenplay author, etc. And he said, man, I got this other friend, Garnet, and he's doing the same thing.
Wow.
They said, oh, I don't want any competition, so I got to see what this guy's got. Has he got something better? And anyway, we ended up meeting, and Garnet is a film school teacher. So he's always been teaching students. So he's right in the thick of it. And that, what I love about that is that, you know, just like you learned, you know, or I'll say me, I learned Photoshop back in 1988, 89 and grew up with it. And it just became something that I use as a tool, the same way other people would use Outlook or even Google or whatever.
Sure.
And I think that StarWire is going to be most effective for the new people coming in learning this, because they're not afraid of something new or new technology. It's always hard to work. Old school people that are really set in their ways have always been doing what they're doing, until the whole younger generation starts to catch up and realize the beauty of this decentralized world and the ability to protect their work and create smart contracts. I think if we started at the student level, it's really going to build, and we'll have a grassroots momentum happening. So Garnet and I first met, and we compared notes, and we started to work on the concept of StarWire, and the smart contract builder was the first thing that we built. And then he wanted to create what was called a revenue simulator. And the way that I would explain it to a newbie, it's like if you go in and do a mortgage calculator, you can figure out what your mortgage is going to be. Well, this is a little more detailed, but it will figure out your film or your project and tell your investors when they're going to get paid if they put in a certain amount of money over a certain amount of time. And here's what we expect to, based on industry standards, receive from distributors, et cetera, we'll be able to really forecast in a visual setting exactly when everyone's going to get a return on their investment. And investors love that. And I'll let Jason speak to that a little bit, because he was one of the guys that came in to invest in a film as a result of using the StarWire revenue simulator.
I do want to just give one quick shout out in the chat. Jerry Carrick says, I own StarWire specifically because I respect your mission. So many scammed by music producers. You will make them hate you for you, and for that I am grateful. So this, I just thought that was a apropos quote on target tonight.
Bang on. Thank you for that, because I've always said the only people that are going to hate this are the bad guys.
Yeah, right. Amen. Great. Well, Garrett, welcome to the show.
Garnet.
Or Garnet. Sorry, Garnet.
Close enough. Yeah, maybe I'll get a quick comment from Jason.
Okay.
Let me
sure.
How we met. Can you see that screen there?
Absolutely.
So this is a movie called The Key to Christmas that we were in production just when COVID broke out.
Oh no.
And during that time, it was paused, delayed, and we were trying to get it done, obviously, for this past Christmas. and we needed an extra, I don't know if it was $30,000 or something like that. And we went out to the investment community and I said, hey, we have our, smart contract builder in alpha. It's not being used yet, but I was demoing it to Jason, not really pitching him best, but I was just sort of showing him what we were doing in crypto. And Jason ended up coming aboard. He's like, whoa, that's super easy. And Jason, so what was your response?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, just think of it. Like, someone's showing you a, first of all, Christmas movie. And, who doesn't like Christmas movies? And so Garnet was showing me the Christmas movie that he was working on as a project, and how they were going to be the first film that was demoing the smart contract. And I was oh my
Garnet,
gosh.
Garnet, can you stop sharing screen and then we'll be able to see Jason real quick? Okay, sorry, Jason. We want to look you right in the eye.
Oh, great. Oh, you poor people. But what I'm saying is so Garnet showed me that that movie and the smart contract and said, listen, the investors are priority to get paid back, and then you'll have royalty residuals like forever. And
wow.
I'm like, wow, I will put my money in this. So I put my money in that. I own a piece of that movie. So every single Christmas for the rest of my life, that movie's going to come up. It's going to play somewhere. I'm going to make a little bit of money, and I can say, that's my movie. Look, I'm in the credits even.
But what? That started the friendship, and now he's actually, working with us at StarWire in our communities, building community. And he's been just kind of the guy we connect to.
That's so cool.
Asking questions about us, and that tends to be with everyone we're connecting with, the idea of the community that is building. And the main purpose actually for this token launch is going to enhance the same way Jason came in through that way. Our token launch is not for raising funds for us. It's actually to expand our community in a real exponential way.
Well, I'm going to be interested to hear how strategically you'll do that. But I did want to just comment. It's been my experience in participating and building lots of businesses over the years that people support what they help create. So I think that is exactly what you guys have accomplished here. And Jason, it seems like, you being part of that, in essence, helping to create it, you support it and are probably not only one of the biggest fans, but a great evangelist for StarWire. And that's how it all starts. And that's how the communities are built. And people want to be part of something special. And that's what I love about this, is that instead of just investing in a token on Coinbase and watching a bunch of YouTubers make crazy faces in their thumbnails and throw up triangles and all of this bull flags and stuff, somebody can dig deep into this and really feel like they're a part of something special. You're solving a huge problem. And so again, not shitcoin bucket. So sorry, Garnet, I interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, I do want to, people are watching to learn about our token, and we've talked about the products that we make, and they're very exciting. And I guess when we talk about the token, I'd say that's when we connected with the guys at Bees.social. And, we told them what our project was about, and really it was their development team. They said, you know what, we're going to design the token economics that reflect your values, that are all about the content creator, the investor, not getting ripped off. And so they created it in a very special way. And we said, okay, do we do this like everyone else? And they said, no, you're not going to have a token sale. We said, what? We're going to spend a year and build the foundation and you're going to build what's called your liquidity up. And so that was kind of what you see now. And this Friday, what we're launching, there's been an entire year of building up a pool of what's called locked liquidity. And when you look at the tokens that are out there, we have 25 million tokens in circulation. Maybe I will share this.
Yeah, screen share that if you don't mind. And at the same time, when you talk about a liquidity pool and what you've done and accomplished, educate us on this too.
Okay. So anytime you're purchasing a token, there's what's called the tokens that are in circulation, right? So you're buying a token, and people are buying and selling. And if a huge amount of tokens were to be suddenly sold, you might find the value of the coin you bought a lot less than what you bought it for. And so can
I interrupt?
Going to zero.
Can I interrupt and be a use case for that?
Yeah.
I was so super impressed with recently I had the founder of Epic Chain on, and I was so absolutely impressed. And it is a small market cap, and so I decided to go drop, to invest. And right before my eyes, as I'm investing, and I'm just buying the next stack, the price is going up, and I personally made that coin hit the top of the list of the highest, and I didn't invest that much, guys. But so I'm sitting here thinking, hey man, I bought everything, net probably 40 cents. And by the time I was done, it was 90 cents. And then I had a buddy go in and buy some, and he was all excited, and then we woke up this morning and it was 40 cents. And so I don't understand it. I trust that long term it's going to be an awesome investment. I'm a big champion and evangelist of Epic Chain, but I think that's what you're talking about, and that right?
Yeah. For example, Bitcoin that has $1 trillion practically of liquidity. If you buy $1 million of it, you're not going to budge the price,
right?
Whereas these small market caps. As people buy, the price can be volatile if you don't have that liquidity, right?
Right.
So the more liquidity you have, the more stable your project.
What is liquidity then? Help us understand at the base level.
Yeah.
What is liquidity?
Yeah. So, think of when you go to the airport, say you're going to India and you're going to buy, a currency there. When you walk up to that booth, you hand them US dollars or Canadian dollars. And, they literally have to have a bag of Indian currency. I forget. Does anyone know what their currency is over there?
Rupee.
Rupees? Yeah, rupees. So you have to have a bag of rupees to exchange for your coins. And the same thing with coins like ours, we're on a decentralized exchange. It means there's a liquidity pool of two different currencies. Say it might be StarWire and Ethereum. And if you're going to buy our STAR tokens with Ethereum, you would go to that pool, and more Ethereum goes into that pool, and the STAR tokens are taken out. In the same way, when you go to sell, there's $1 million of Ethereum in there, always for you. That you can sell your STAR tokens, because
so that would be a pair. That would be a trading pair, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and that would be a pool. So the bigger the trading pool you have, the more stability your token will have. And if you only had $100 of liquidity, well, once you cash out your $100, the person will be out of luck. There's no more Ethereum there to trade your token for. So yeah. It's a real important thing to have as a foundation, and it it's
so how do you build it without people coming to put some Ethereum in there?
Right. Well, you know, this is what happened during when we first created our token. We took those 20 million token, which were at the time worthless, and gave them, put it into a pool with the Bees.social. And at the time, they sort of gifted us the first value for it. And they had it was like $1 million they had put together. And our token represented 2% of that. And when our token started, it was maybe 0.009 cents per token.
Okay.
And for the last year, as the value in all of the 8 projects that came into to collaborate with us, the value began building. And that same pool that started with $1 million in it has grown to right now it sits at $230 million in that pool. So it's been
and I'd also like to interject too that we put in our own fiat currency and locked it up for 2 years in order to stabilize this as well. So we never got any free tokens.
Yeah, no one got gifted tokens.
We
okay,
bought.
So when you say we, are you saying you as the founders actually put skin in the game?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody had to buy their own tokens. Nobody got any. And not just the founders, but other team members and friends and family and everybody put in their own.
So this isn't a project where I say, hey, I'd like to apply as, you're hiring for an Uncle Vigilante. And I'm like, that's my name. I'd like to join. I make $250,000 a year. Can you pay that? And you're like, no, none of us get paid. Matter of fact, if you want to participate, you have to pay. You need to get your own skin in the game. Is that kind of how it goes? And don't use that 250 as it.
That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. When you think that, all of us, our families, we purchased our tokens at the various times, it was, increasing in value.
Yeah.
And so when you look at that 20 million in circulating, that's actually, it's in circulation, but it's locked, meaning we bought it and we put it into a contract which locks it for 12 months.
Okay.
So, right.
24 months.
Yeah.
So you have, I would call that, you have a lockup period on your coins.
We have a lockup period on our liquidity pool on certain ones of our liquidity pools. Like you can just go and buy it on Uniswap and not lock it up and just, keep it in your wallet,
Yeah.
But we have some yielding farms that you can put it in, but you have to lock it up for at least 1 year and sometimes 2.
Yeah. For example, there would be no good reason just to lock up your finances for if you weren't being rewarded, right?
Sure.
So the first, if we look at this chart here, we had 2 million tokens. It's called the farm yield reward.
Mm-hmm.
And so this has been referred to in DeFi as, yield farming. So it's the reward in return for you locking your capital up. We're going to yield tokens out to you. It's kind of like a slow drip every day.
So it's like a CD where instead of getting 1% annually or 0.5% annually and celebrating that.
Yep.
But that
was the old pool. We have some new pools coming up that are going to work a bit different.
Okay, but in this case, you have this yield reward, which you're putting your money in, you're locking it up for 730 days, and every day it's dripping back some coinage, right? It's like, let's just pretend it was interest in the bank. If instead of in the bank, you're getting 1% interest, this would probably, to incent you, you might even get a really interesting interest rate, like as much as 30 or 40%, right?
All right. Correct. And that's not locked over 730 days. It is that particular promotion was a 12-month lockup, right?
Okay, sure.
What's happening on this Friday is we have a new incentive
That would be tomorrow.
Yep. And so this is pretty exciting because we haven't seen any other project sort of do this before, which is an instant flash yield. So we've taken 3% of our tokens that are in circulation, and we're going to reward anyone who purchases our token. They don't have to lock it. It's up to them. If they choose to lock it, we're giving a 30% instant flash yield reward. So, for example, if you bought 1,000 tokens and chose to lock them, we would instantly flash yield 300 tokens, or 30%.
So now over that period of
30%.
time,
Yeah.
you're making cumulative interest on 1,300 instead of 1,000.
No, you would actually take, let me put it this way. I give you $100 and I'd say, put it in your pocket for 1 year. Or I'll put it in my pocket for 1 year, but I'll give you $30 back and you can do whatever you want with it.
Unlocked, and you don't have to wait.
Okay, so if I just let you keep my $100 bill in your pocket,
No,
huh?
it's not in our pocket.
Oh, it
It stays in your pocket. Yeah,
It stays in your
but it's-
pocket, but you can't take it out of your pocket.
Okay, but I can't take it out, so I have to commit to a year or whatever the term.
Exactly.
But you're going to give me then $30 back. That if I wanted to go to Starbucks and just party, I could do that, right? Or I could invest it back, I presume.
Correct.
And if
Or you can keep it for voting in our community or voting on different projects that we have coming down.
okay,
There'll be many different use cases that you can use that token for.
You could trade it for ETH. You could trade it for another coin, for BTC, whatever you want. It's yours.
okay. Let me ask you for this instant flash yield program announcement tomorrow, whatever. Is that something that somebody has to send fiat, or can we send like if we have our crypto, we can send crypto to be able to exchange for your coin, or how does it work?
Yeah, what's going to happen to actually participate would mean you'd have to buy STAR tokens, and the way to do that would be if they're on their exchange, Binance, or however you purchase your ETH or Bitcoin, you would need to have ETH inside your MetaMask wallet.
Okay.
ETH
Now,
or DAI or USDT or USDC.
Correct.
Any of those four.
Like, let me just take you to our the Bees.social exchange page. So this is our own decentralized exchange.
Yep.
Where our token is. So the idea is, your users, you would have Ethereum in either a MetaMask wallet,
Yep.
or a Trust wallet.
Yep.
And once you connect to the exchange, you're simply gonna, select whatever currency you have. If it's ETH.
Show them the currencies that you can use there.
Yeah, so you can use Ethereum, USDC, DAI, or USDT. You could use any one of those four currencies, and you're just going to come.
And the reason why you can't use Bitcoin as a newbie question is because this is on the Ethereum blockchain.
Correct.
Exactly.
Got it. So any
ECR
20 token will work. No.
Well, for our exchange, only these four.
Yes,
just those four. Okay.
Yeah, you betcha.
And it's as simple as, like say, once you, determine how much you want to buy, ETH, you'd hit the swap button. And of course, your MetaMask should pop up here if we were.
But don't go and buy the tokens until after we announce our when it's going to start tomorrow.
Correct. It's like we are starting a brand new part of this promotion is a new StarWire Ethereum liquidity pool, and if you watch our social media, we're going to tell you. And here's the thing is, we'll give you the exact time. So here's the bonus for everyone who's watching this show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, part of our future collaborations, we're getting kind of our insider people the opportunity to buy this first.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, we're going to list ourselves on CoinGecko, right? So if you're watching Uncle V's, you know, show, you're getting sort of an inside scoop before the rest of the CoinGecko people even are able to discover this.
That's awesome.
We've got a little sort of time for, obviously, if you're first in, it's
now
nice
is the first in, is it just going to be tomorrow? Friday is the only flash day?
No.
Okay.
We are yielding, you know, that flash will be yielded out until
it's gone.
3 million of the tokens are gone. So until supplies last, you will qualify for
while supplies last.
Right.
And what is this star token going for right now? What's the price?
It's at
35 cents.
Yeah, it's at about, there's our price right there.
35.
Top left-hand corner there too.
And it got up to what before?
It was up to 50 cents.
Thank you, Elon.
And then Ethereum did a nosedive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it brought us all down at once.
Yeah, it's join the club right now.
Yeah. So, but if you believe in Ethereum, like I believe in Ethereum, I believe like Ethereum is we're so blessed to be on the Ethereum blockchain because it's a good solid chain to be on. So I'm glad we're building on that chain.
Yeah.
And
once they get their fees under fees normalized, then it's watch out.
Yeah,
I also want to just say to the people listening, and we all know that this crypto is kind of a new adventure for everyone. And I don't like to use the word investment because this isn't a get rich quick scheme. This isn't Las Vegas. Some people may be playing it that way. That's your choice. I think I've shown you the intention of what the product and the software that we're building behind the scenes, and why this token is going to be valuable for people that hold it in the future. And Garnet's going to talk a little bit about the use case, because that was one of your questions, I believe, is how we're going to use this token within the community. So it's really important, rather than using terms like investment and stuff. I ran a public company, so forward-looking statements and telling people you're going to 10x your money and stuff like that is just not in my vocabulary.
Yeah, we stay away from that.
My daughters are preparing their MetaMasks right now and moving their money in so that they can participate. And I say to them, I said, listen, just take this as an exercise in learning. You would pay $1,500 to take a course in university, or, more than that probably. But, think of it as a learning experience. You're going to learn how to do this, and you're going to be able to follow along and take this as an experiential opportunity. And if the token does well and Ethereum does well, then you're going to be pleasantly surprised, like we all have been over the last year. So, but I think it's really important.
Could you imagine? I'm just going to do a little Uncle V fantasize opportunity here. I have a daughter who just graduated from college, and you just triggered me. I'm like, if 5 years ago now, if I would have told her, honey, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a monthly check. You're not going to go to college. What you're going to do is immerse yourself in this crypto thing. You're going to learn everything about it. And then you're going to use the amount of money that I would have invested in your education, and we're going to dollar cost average in over the next 5 years. Could you imagine what that bag would look like right now? Oh my goodness.
That'd be awesome.
And then
remind me, because Oh, my daughters will hate it when they watch this, but I bought them each a Bitcoin back in March 2020 when it was around 5,000.
Oh,
And
nice
I
done.
bought them a Bitcoin, and I bought them each a Nano Ledger wallet.
Nice.
But the funny thing is after a week, I got a message from the bank. I bought it through my corporate company, my company name, and my account was in my personal name. So it never happened.
Oh no.
And when I told my daughter, well, Dad, we didn't want any, it's too weird. We'd rather have something for our CFSA. And anyway, that's a long story. And
Wow.
you hate me for the I told you so and finger wagging.
That's that. I would, for anyone listening out there, I have a little something that I've done with my daughters. I said that because I like privacy coins a lot. I like Pirate Chain a lot, and ARRR. And so instead of giving them $500, which I wanted to do, I wanted to gift them $500 for a special occasion. I told them that I wrote them a letter saying that at the point in time you send me a receiving address for your treasure chest after visiting pirate.chain, I'm going to send you $500 worth of ARRR. And yeah, to be able to get them to not just give it to them, but go through the process, getting on the bike, skinning their knees, so that when they finally received it into their treasure chest, then they got it, right? So that I recommend even if it's $100, you know.
Yep. So they're believers now, and so like I said, they're preparing their MetaMask wallets as we speak, and I even walked my wife through it today, step by step. And you want to talk about newbies? That's the ultimate.
Here's the big pro tip. Somebody in the chat, Grant, thank you, Grant. When you're dealing with MetaMask and you're dealing with ETH, make sure that you don't select all of your ETH, because you must leave some ETH in your wallet for the gas fees to be able to move them.
That's right.
So thank you, Grant. Excellent.
Thanks, Grant. Very wise words. And gas price does fluctuate, as we found out.
Yeah. And if anyone needs any help, go to Bees.social or come to StarWire in one of our groups, and we have Bees.social has many great videos on how to set up MetaMask wallets.
Can you screen share and take us to Bees.social just to show them where they can find it?
Sure. Yeah, you betcha.
Thank you. Yeah, because your resources are fantastic there.
Okay. Right. There's the setup. And actually, Jason, in the chat, if you can share our Discord link.
Oh, perfect.
Sure, you betcha. Yeah.
And that's a good place too if you're needing help onboarding. Just go right to our Discord channel. That can also be found on our website, starwire.io, right here, StarWire. Yeah, while we're here on our website, I did want to mention again what is the use case when you have this token. If you choose to buy it, hold it. Part of what we have is already established a treasury fund. This is for creatives, for projects. We can't touch it as a team. This isn't for us, but it's funds that have been building from the beginning. Right now, there's about $230,000 in that treasury fund. It will grow rapidly, even as we do this token launch. You can look at the contract. You can go see that fund in here. Now, how the token works is when you own a token, you're allowed to, when our flash yield is completed, you'll be allowed to write a proposal to this. If you're a musician, you can say, hey, I need $10,000 to buy a computer to record my song, or I have a film idea. I need $100,000 to hire an actor or Nicolas Cage, to complete my film. You write the proposal, and guess who gets to vote on this? anyone who's got Star tokens in their wallet, they're the community. So we're empowering the community and giving them a voice with this token. And this is going to be their fund, not our fund.
So cool.
We won't control it. And like I say, we designed this token to rapidly grow and give value to the people who are holding it, not give value to necessarily a bunch of people needing money, not for us to buy Lambos or whatever. This is to make the community prosperous. And there's many ways, like we can't even imagine how the token can be used, in different promotions. It could be like some of the people we're talking to. There's a band from the Dominican Republic. They're kind of young rappers. They got 40 million views on their YouTube channel of these songs. And, the way they may use is, hey, if you have Star tokens in your wallet, we're giving you a VIP behind the scenes access, to a Zoom call during our concerts or something like this. Again, if it's a way we can move value through borders. It doesn't matter if they're in Russia, the Seneca, in these islands, South America. And right now, this is our focus. Like, we're wanting to build this community. This is a photo. This was me a couple years back. I was invited to Thailand because they wanted to hear about what we were doing in the entertainment industry. This was a project called Elastos, their first year anniversary. And I took this photo and was so impressed at the people gathered there. It had only been a year, but there was 53 nations represented at this meeting. Wow. And what they had done is they had reached out and they'd sort of incentivized, as simple as just buying donuts for groups at these different universities around the world. And, they'd say, hey, we'll pay for a meetup if you, get a bunch of kids together who are interested in crypto and in particular, computer science, and give a presentation on Elastos. And these communities began to spring up in the universities. This is a university in Holland, and they saw what we were doing with our smart contract builder, and they said, hey, can we use your project to teach our business students? Like, even if it's the alpha version, we love what we see you doing. So we know that part of our marketing is going to be grassroots, reaching out to not just kids in universities, who are interested in business and crypto side, but just the content creators themselves. We want to host meetings in every nation. And we know already the feedback, even, a lot is coming saying, guys, you have no idea of the potential in these second world nations. Wow. The entertainment power, right? These undiscovered talents in those places. And they see, wow, you have a token, a monetary network that transcends borders. It's censorship resistant. It can move instantly into their phones, and it connects a global network. And like Bitcoin, not only does our token store economic energy, stored energy providing value, but we say it stores creative energy, because it's those creative ideas in a coin, right? And so that's kind of going to be our mission, for our community, and as much as we make fun of, Doge coins and doggy coin or whatever you call it,
is what Uncle Vigilante would call them.
The community coins have been quite powerful.
Yeah.
Right? People have rallied around them because they believe in them, right?
People want to be part of something special.
Yeah.
And people support what they help create.
Yeah.
If you provide a platform to where community members can participate in the creative side. Some smart company said they have a tagline, when money moves, creative people get paid, I think. Right? Yeah. Does that ring a bell?
Exactly.
So,
That's
you know,
right.
you think about, you know, okay, we have 25 million tokens in circulation. You know, I think about, okay, there's that website that has 40 million views. Like, if each one of those people only have one token and they all want, like, how quickly are these tokens going to get used up? You know, there's another platform we look at, a media player platform called Plex, which is people watching movies, listening to music. Well, they have 20 million users. Well, that's one target we have. We want to reach out to their customers. So when you think of, you know, is there enough tokens to go around? For those people holding these tokens now, there's people going to be wanting to hold them to be part of this ecosystem.
Well, and that's just the nature of this beast. That's what I'm finding is it's like everybody talks about, man, oh man, I missed the boat. Imagine if you would have gotten Bitcoin when Jeff Berwick was talking about it at $2, or Monero when it was $3 or whatever. And everybody talks about, you know, missing out and being all hangdog and that stuff. But that's why we're doing, you know, interviews and shows like this, because here we are. You guys have just presented a brilliant use case and have demonstrated that there's this pent up demand of a creative community worldwide. And so if I personally, I'm investing, I am setting up my MetaMask tomorrow. I promise you I will, because I believe that it is not an expense, but an investment. And, you know, I know, Colin, you don't like that word investment, but in my mind, this is a solid investment because you have the community, you have everything that we're talking about, right? You have delivered in spades on helping us determine what the utility is, what the purpose is, what the problem it solves is. The team behind it is amazing. You've presented the marketing supply, and you show that you have this lockup period. Your community. I mean, it's almost like you guys watched one of my videos before and knew the questions before they were asked.
Well, we also have to thank the Bees.social people for helping behind the scenes.
Be part of that.
They're very cool, and like I said at the beginning, this is new to all of us, and we're kind of taking baby steps along the way. But I think we've demonstrated, and I hope I've demonstrated, that the big picture and the big why, the reason that we're doing this is bigger than the mechanics behind it at this stage. It's only going to get better as we move through this. You know, I make the analogy of a fax machine. You know, a fax machine solved a problem in the day, right? Do you remember that? Do you remember a fax machine? Well, that was
big time tech. When I got out of college, that was big time tech.
Well, it was a way to transmit a document over phone lines, and it solved a need and a problem. And do we need it now? No. And so StarWire's suite of tools and the token represent kind of a new way to solve a problem. And as technology evolves and the world shifts to a digital economy, we're going to continue to innovate and solve these problems along the way. And it's going to shift, and we're going to be part of this as a team. And like Jason said about, you're going to be able to own a fraction or a portion of a film or a project or many projects. See how excited he gets when he says he's an executive producer on a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun stuff. I mean, people love
absolutely. That. Absolutely. I mean,
you said it yourself, you know, people support what they help create.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would just like to take a moment of silence, if we could, for the fallen, for Pete, who's in the chat. And he said, I was offered a Bitcoin for 5 cents and said no. So just a moment of silence for Pete. Hey, Pete, let me make you feel better. It would have mooned to $20 and you would have sold and felt like you were the smartest man on the planet. So, you know, don't feel too hangdog.
There's an old saying that goes, everything's been heard before, but not everyone was listening.
I love that. I love that. That is very Solomon-esque.
So many times as songwriters, you sit around and go, we can't write any new songs. There's just nowhere to go. Everything's been written before.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember that not everyone was listening.
You know, are there any artists out there? Like, I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, Uncle Vigilante, I could write a song, and I just employ the cheat code method. I would find all of the greatest songs that were the best hits, and I'd take just a little bit of each one of them that I'd know, and I'd figure out how to somehow blend it to where it would sound kind of familiar, but then it would just go off and sound a little bit familiar. There's a there, you know? And you know, when money moves, I'll get paid.
You get paid.
That's right. That's
Andy
right.
Bachman always used to say, you know, if there's a fine line between plagiarism and genius, and he used to like to call it borrowing. And we see that a lot in music. You borrow little things. You absorb things throughout your life, and things that
Right.
move you, and you want to express that similar feeling to other people. And that's what's so beautiful about music, about film, about stories. And this is why I think a lot of the, like Garnet was saying, talent from all over the world, a rising tide lifts all ships. And I think that's what we're trying to do as a group here. We know that the industry is very, very, there's a very small group of people who control kind of what we see, but there's a whole ton, even with your YouTube show, of creators out there that are making a difference and changing the world. And so this is an exciting time to be part of this. You know, we're going to look back in 5 years. I know we will, and we'll laugh and just go, "Wow, you know, a smart contract builder was, you know, building code in front of our face." And
that was a great fax machine, man.
Exactly.
Oh,
So I know one of your questions, because I heard your show the other night, is like, what's it going to be? Who's going to care about it long term? And I think that's the answer to that. Is that it's the community. They're going to be the ones that direct where we're kind of going. And at the end of the day, it's not about remembering a token. It's about remembering the people that came together to create something, to build something, to share things, and to empower individuals to be the best that they can be. And Jason's in the chat all the time supporting people.
Great.
And it's really fun to see all the comments and the people getting really excited. So I'm surprised. I had no idea it would start to grow like it has.
It's true.
I think you're muted, Uncle.
Yeah, somebody had said that I was echoing, so I kind of rebooted. Do I sound okay, or am I still echoing?
Nope, you sound good now.
All right. Thank you in the chat, whoever said I was echoing. Colin, can I ask you a question? This is just totally non-crypto, but you're a musician and a very accomplished one. And I have a question for you music people. For me, my memory, there's just nothing sticky about my memory. Now, I have a daughter. She can listen to a song on the radio once and she can sing it in tune, every word and what I did, blah, blah. And has it always been natural for you that you can just memorize and then you're also playing while you do it? My brain can't go there. Is it just a gift from God that you can do that? Or do you have to think about, okay, here are the words, I got to memorize it. Oh, gosh, I screwed that up. I got to go back. I still got to memorize it. Or is it just natural?
10,000 hours.
Oh,
So there's no easy button.
The natural part is the motivation to want to play and to want to sing.
Okay.
And that's what comes natural. And obviously there's some people that are more talented than others. I hear people with perfect pitch and it's like, wow, if only I could sing like that. But everyone has their own voice and everyone has their own style. And if Neil Young was on The Voice, do you think, or Bob Dylan was on The Voice, do you think they'd turn their chairs around?
No.
It's not about that. It's about your heart. It's about what you produce. And everyone, you know, I met a radio guy once and says, you know, there's 1 million people in the world for each artist they should be able to find a tribe of 1 million people, because it's really interesting. And they did that, some kind of calculation that was actually modeled, and it was real data. But I think in answer to your question, it comes from the heart, and it's a learned skill to be able to play music, and singing on pitch and having a good voice and things is a God-given gift in some cases. But for most people, they can find their way. And 10,000 hours. I mean, after doing it for a year, and the thing about traveling in a classic rock band is we play the same 30 songs for 20 years. Gotta play the hits, just play your hits. No new songs. We just want to hear the old songs.
Right. We are all such creatures of habit. I mean, it is so true, especially when you have that music that just puts you back at wherever it made you feel good the first time, when I did a little research before this chat, I went and listened to a lot of your music on YouTube. I found a lot, and man, you are very talented. Very talented.
The rock star vigilante. How about that?
We anoint you. If I could be anointed, I'm anointing you the rock star vigilante. I like it.
I'll have you on my show.
The next time you show up here, you'd better change your name in the Zoom chat to, instead of calling it, better say Rockstar Vigilante.
Love it.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, are you guys open to me dropping a Zoom link in the chat? If anyone wants to call in?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have time for that?
Let's do
Absolutely.
it.
All right. Because we love our people. Now, last time I did that, nobody zoomed in, but that's okay.
We haven't even talked about NFTs yet.
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah. Let's.
My mom
got a surprise, Garnet.
She could have a question.
Paste. All right, ladies and gentlemen. There, the Zoom link is in there, and if you want to come on in, please do. And while we're waiting for somebody to come in, you want to talk NFTs?
Go for it, Garnet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one of the things, in addition to the cool 30% flash yield, the other innovation we did was we converted that lockup, that staked value, that deposit, into an NFT. So in the past, that staked value would remain locked to your wallet, to your MetaMask wallet. You couldn't transfer it once it was locked to your wallet. This time we took that, the locked value, if you deposited $10,000, that would be returned to you as an NFT of locked funds. Now, what makes that amazing is that if, say, you get through half the year and you had a financial emergency and you need to get out of this position, you could literally trade that NFT or sell it, or you can also give that to a lending facility and they could give you a loan against that collateral. So it's a hard asset. So
Smart.
It opens up many opportunities, right?
That is very smart.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And for those of you who don't know what an NFT is, so what's an NFT? Well, it's short for non-fungible token, or the way regular tokens are, they're duplicate copies of each other. An NFT is just each one is unique and can be moved in and out of your wallet, becomes your asset. You can move it somewhere else. And most recently they've been used to sell art with, and the use of them has sort of exploded since the new year here. We've seen crazy numbers, like an artwork NFT sell for $69 million, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, somebody bought a Pepe the Frog meme for, man, I may have totally screwed this up, but I think for like 300 grand, something stupid, and sold it for 6.9 million.
Nice return.
Yeah, 2 months later. 2 months later. It is crazy. I want to find something here for you.
And part of the bonuses too with that is some people, of course, you know, have a tax problem when they go to cash. Right. If they made a lot of money, you know, sometimes cashing that Bitcoin can be a taxable event, depending what part of the world you're in. The nice thing about if you take a loan, well, that's non-taxable. So it's a way to hold your asset right. and still kind of get some of the things you need for your life. So
no, that's right.
That's right. Really cool financial innovations that are possible with this.
Yeah.
I was going to show you, I wanted to learn about NFTs, and so I figured, why not me? Why shouldn't I sell that? They were selling these things at just such ridiculous rates. I decided to, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go see if I can find this.
Any other questions in the chat?
I'll just tell that nobody had called in. I don't see a question. I'm just going to tell you what I did. I have a famous Instagram dog. His name's Zammy the Giant Sheepadoodle. He's a children's hospital therapy dog. He's absolutely massive. Nice. And there's one, you know, let me, I'm going to find it, guys, because I'm going to, but there's this one video that's been shared over 1 billion times. Let me go to.
While you're looking for that, maybe one more time, Jason, if you want to just share with everybody the process to purchase STAR tokens on Friday.
Sure.
Just real simple.
Okay, it's real simple. On Friday, we'll give out, watch our social media for a link. You can follow us on Twitter at StarWire.io. Can you pull that up, Garnet? Yes. Show the Twitter account, and we will announce when the token launch is going to start, or the new
or Discord.
It's not a new token, but when our event is going to start, and all the tokens purchased during that time at that for the 30. Okay, all the tokens that are purchased when the event starts are eligible for the 30% flash yielding, which will happen the next week when they have the new pools ready to be staked into. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. I just dropped that into the chat. That's a Dropbox, though.
So the idea is on your exchange to make sure that you have some Ethereum, and like the fella in the chat, was it Jason, or I forget what? Sorry, but you mentioned leaving some room in there for gas.
Right.
You'll have to pay some gas fees, and then have your Ethereum in your MetaMask, and then
come and join our community. Come and join our Discord community. We also have a Telegram community. I can drop that info in the.
Yeah, look, Telegram is great, and I know that a lot of crypto folks hang out there a lot. So, okay, Lisa is coming in. So let me admit Lisa. Hi, Lisa. You're joining. Lisa Thompson, how are you? Can we see you or hear you?
Her audio is connecting.
Hi, Lisa. Do you want to say hello, or you just want to hang out? You want to be a stalker, a voyeur? Are you a groupie?
Yes, StarWire groupies. I love it.
All right. While we're waiting for her to connect, I'm going to screen share and show you guys. Well, before I do, I'm going to tell you the story, and then when you see it, you'll get it. So I have this children's hospital therapy dog that before COVID, we'd go to the Shriners Hospital for Children every Monday morning.
Nice.
And Zammy, what I am going to show you, when I posted this, he had small follower base, right? But it was picked up everywhere and it went viral across all different platforms everywhere. It's been shared, they say, over 1 billion times. And he now has 142,000 followers. But I'll show you the video, but I have to set it up first. This video, and what makes it so special, is this little girl. We had seen her for a year, to where she had one of these curved legs. And so we saw her for a year, to where they would break her leg and then straighten it and break it and straighten it, break it and straighten it. Well, she finally got to the point to where she was almost through physical therapy. And the day we showed up, she was trying to be brave to walk without any help at all. Wow. So her dad asked me from across the room if I would hold Zammy up as incentive for her to walk across the room. So that's what you're going to see here. And let me make sure I have this share sound. So this is Zammy Pup. If you go there, you can see he's a big boy. He's a big boy, but this is
a beautiful dog.
I call her Giggle Box Girl. Oh, no way. It's going to make me put in my well, anyway, if people go to Zammy Pup, this is the one. You'll see her go up, and they call her Giggle Box Girl. I didn't name it that. People who spread it all around the world did, because she went and hugged him and just giggled and giggled and giggled. Wow. I am just crushed that I can't show that, but that's all right. That'll give everyone incentive to go. So Zammy has become the world's therapy dog post-COVID. That, I mean, literally people are saying it because I keep posting content and he spreads lots of joy. So
what a precious story.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's it is. He's such a good boy, such a good dog. So, but yeah. So anyway, my story was, I took that, and as I was trying to figure out what this NFT business was, I turned that graphic, that video, that 20-second video, into an NFT, and I have it on Rarible for sale for 250 ETH. Because nice. You know what? Why not me?
Because you can.
I'm like, it cost me $75 in total to do the whole thing. And I thought, for the story, I'm going to put it on for 250 ETH. And it was literally at that time where it just, things were going crazy. And I thought, wouldn't it just be something if somebody with just more money than sense said, you know, I need that hug that was heard around the world. But you never know. It's still up for sale. Saudi princes, go for it.
Did we lose Lisa?
We did. I think maybe she was just coming in to hang out. Uncle Vigilante, thank you so much for your time. You're welcome, Harmon. So, well, guys, it doesn't look like, so we're 0 for 2 as far as the jury calling in. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that there's no hung jury. There's no discussion. It's just everyone's already voted you not shitcoin. So nobody's even going to come ask any more grilling questions. But seriously, good job. This was excellent. This was my favorite so far. And you've just set the bar, I think, any future guests. And I do have a couple coming on over the next week. So for all of you out there who like this kind of content, hit the notification bell, because I really, really don't know. And I'm really bad at being able to pre-promote and tell you when I'll go to my Telegram and I'll drop it in there. So go to Telegram and go to Uncle Vigilante Lounge, Uncle Vigilante Lounge, sign up there. And then every time I will give like an hour advance notice when we're going to be live streaming. But that's where also, if you guys send me a link, or when you guys open this up, if you let me know, I will drop it into Uncle Vigilante Lounge and other places. But I think you're going to get, it may not all happen tomorrow. You know, I'm not a huge channel, but I think that this channel will preserve well. And I think you can point people to it. And just a lot of information dropped in here, and you guys are very, very persuasive. I love the project, and I'm going to be an investor.
Fantastic. Well, you have great energy, and it's no wonder people are beginning to follow you, because not only do you have a great voice, but you also are asking the tough questions that the average person, you said you were a jag, just another guy, or just a guy. I don't know which whenever you prefer, but you're doing a great job. And I think that's a service. So you're definitely not hurting people, and you're giving people opportunities that they probably wouldn't have otherwise. So we're here to support you as well. So thanks for having us on.
Well, thank you. And you guys, man, just what we need to do is kind of make this, let's agree to make this a quarterly event and come back and get updates from you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate that.
You bet, Jason. You bet. And Garnet, thank you. Thank you for just everything, guys. And so you are all in Canada now?
Yeah,
we are.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you mentioned Jeff Berwick a few times. He was one of the people out there that made me make the decision to move to Mexico part of the year. So I have a house down there, and so half the year I'm down there. But right now I'm back in Canada for the Canadian summer.
Now, do you do that because you want to go up there to be under quarantine and masked because you just like that self-suffrage?
Oh, we look at it. Well, we can only be out of the country 6 months, or otherwise our health benefits don't kick in.
Okay.
So I would much rather be down there where we didn't have to wear masks and didn't have to quarantine.
Yeah.
But our kids are up here too, so it's important to be home with family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you this. Is Mexico as great as Jeff seems to, it touts it to be?
Better.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
And what part of Mexico do you like a lot?
We are just north of Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
And we're in a small town, and that's as much as I'll tell. I don't want any stalkers coming to find me.
Yeah.
It's a really great place to, there's a lot of Canadians down there as well.
How's the cost of living there in comparison?
It's half.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
almost exactly half. And the food pressure.
Expensive.
Do most people speak English?
Yes.
Okay.
And we speak a little bit of Spanish. We're learning.
Great.
And people are very, very, very generous, very hospitable. And the community is just wonderful. So we can talk about that offline if you want. And I have a lot of, friends down there now, and familia, we call them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good. Well, this was so much fun, man. I was excited for it, and now this will be one. I usually don't go listen to my own shows twice, but I did my last one with Epic because he dropped so much truth, just information. I learned so much the second time when I listened, but this one I'm going to just for the same and pure enjoyment because you guys were awesome.
Wow, thank you so much.
All right, guys.
All right.
Everyone in the chat, thank you for showing up, and go get those coins. Let's